Starting off, we would like to dedicate this podcast to the survivors and those we lost during the September 11th tragedy. They're gone, they are never forgotten. We certainly remember and will remember for the rest of our lives. So, we're going to take a quick moment of silence in honor and respect. Hey guys, this is Crystal,
This is Antoine.
and welcome to our fourth K versus A podcast, where we argue about stupid shit for your listening pleasure.
I can't believe it's been number 4 already. It's like how time is zooming by today. Before we get started, what you said, my voice sounds kind of crazy. I lost my mind at the One Music Fest last night. Outstanding show last night.
I'm kind of like hindsight jealous that I didn't go because my sister was trying to like get me to go for a month, and I just wasn't feeling it because, as you all know, if you've been down with us from podcast 1, I really don't like being hot. And it was 92 degrees with like no overcast or anything yesterday. And I just kept thinking I'm gonna die of heat stroke if I go to that concert. So I just decided not to go.
Well, if you'd have called your brother, I could have said, "Hey, yo, I got the VIP. You could have been in the VIP." So there was no heat stroke. There was no stroking him, no heat. It was pretty cool. I would definitely say that the highlight of my night was the Dungeon Family Reunion. It was memorable. It was definitely money well spent. If you ever get a chance to go to one again, I'll be posting pictures on Instagram and Twitter, on our Facebook page. I'm still in awe of it tonight. But we'll talk about that later.
He still has on his wristbands from yesterday.
Yo, I still got my wristbands on. I'm telling y'all, it was. I don't want to go too far into it, but I have to say, being an AT alien, I'm born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Grady baby, man, and just to see the amount of love that that they got last night, and like Christy said, we talked today, and we was like, some of the kids that were there, I said, y'all wasn't even born when Outkast came out, but she made a good point. Like good music is timeless. It will never go out of style. So you rappers out there that think you're doing something big now, I want you to be able to rock a crowd when you're 45 years old and you 18 your kids still singing your music. It was amazing, y'all. I mean, I'm honored to have been able to go.
All right, cool. Making me jealous over here. So,
Stop being a hater.
don't nobody care you got to see Andre 3000 to come out of hibernation?
Yeah, y'all.
Don't nobody care.
Yo, Andre 3 Stacks came. Let me tell y'all something, man. He came on the stage. Andre 3 Stacks came out and killed it. I don't care what people say, how you feel about him, if he's crazy, if he's a lunatic, if he's a recluse or whatever, but he murders everything he's on. And even at the ripe old age of, I'm 42, so Andre got to be, 41, I want to say? Mm-hmm. Rappers out there, if you listen to our podcast right now, no matter how hot you think you are, you give him 16 bars and it's game over. It's game over.
That is true. He's definitely one of the best. Going forward, we have a lot of cool things to talk about. We will talk about the One Music Fest in a little more detail later, but starting off, it's been just like a really bad year for movies, or am I just being like ridiculous?
No, 2016 would probably go down like the Great Depression of movies, man. It's been horrible this year. I haven't seen that one movie that really made. Hold on.
That was really outstanding.
No. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, there hasn't been really a thing like. Is Hollywood running out of ideas, or they just like we're just gonna throw it out there, hope the shit sticks? I mean, I don't get it anymore.
And also, I think we're kind of spoiled by last year, because last year there were so many good movies. Like you had, like
The Hateful Eight.
You had The Revenant. You had, like, I can't come up with any right now off the top of my head, but 2015, I remember looking back and saying like, wow, that was like such a good year for movie. We had Kingsman and things like that.
Shit.
So like,
not Skyfall, Spectre. Big James Bond fan. Like, it ended that on a high note. So I mean, it was just so many movies last year that they were just like back to back to back to back, and now here's like, okay, we're third quarter of the year right now.
Yep, going into fall. Fall starts next week.
And I'm not
22nd.
There's nothing I'm looking forward to right now. I mean, we got a chance to catch a movie, and it was okay.
It was all right. We saw Sully starring Tom Hanks, and it's about the miracle landing on the Hudson River. That was 2009.
Yep.
A plane lost both of its engines because birds flew into the propellers or the engines or something, and Captain Sully, with his quick thinking, was able to land the plane in the Hudson River without any casualties. And it's a story that we all know, but not everyone knew about all of the red tape that happens after a crash. Like you saw it in Flight, in the movie with Denzel Washington. And essentially, from what I've gathered from every movie like this, whenever there's a plane crash and there are survivors, the airline or the NTSB will always try to blame it on the pilot, even if the pilot did nothing wrong, because it's easier to blame something on a human error than be like, oh, our planes don't work.
Well, but
our planes are faulty.
But you also got to think about it though. The one guy, the asshole guy, it's always the one asshole guy. He made a good comment though. 99% of the time, they don't talk to the pilots because 99% of the time there are no survivors. So the fact that Captain Sullenberger actually landed that plane, which the movie did not touch on, I'm gonna tell Chrissy this right here because I'm kind of in the aviation industry. He may have landed it, but the actual co-pilot had just came through training of the Airbus 320. So he was up to date on the different kind of specs and stuff like that. So even though the actor Aaron Eckhart had a role in it, his role in the actual landing of it was major. It was very, yes, Captain Sullenberger was the captain in charge, but the first officer was really the one that actually landed, was the one that got that plane down. He had just came through training. So the way the movie set it up, it took a confluence of everything coming together for them to make it without there being any loss of life.
Yeah, I liked that part. The movie tells the story of the plane crash from the viewpoints of the passengers, the pilots, the crew, and then the people in air traffic control, as well as the first responders. So it was kind of cool to see what people were doing up until that point, and then how everybody reacted or sprung into action when the actual plane crashed into the river. I thought that part was good. But as a whole, the movie was only about an hour and 25 minutes, an hour 30.
It wasn't that long.
That movie could have been a documentary. I felt like it didn't need to be a serious motion picture. That's just my opinion.
When the story happened, you knew eventually someone was gonna make a movie.
That is true. It is movie bait.
Yeah, it's movie bait. So you knew, and then they got Eastwood. You get Eastwood. I don't think it's gonna be nominated for an Oscar. It will be, but I would say this though: the movie time was perfect. It didn't need to be 3 hours long.
It didn't drag on.
It showed the events. It got to the point. It was the perfect movie for a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when the end came, it was gone. That was it.
It did tell the story in a very linear fashion. It was no wasted time, very good pacing. But that just goes to show that Clint Eastwood is such a good filmmaker, just in general. So if this movie does get nominated for anything serious, which I doubt it will, because I don't think it was that good, it'll be strictly on editing and maybe directing, because how it was shot was beautiful. And once again, that goes to Clint Eastwood, just being a great filmmaker. And another thing that kind of crossed through my mind when we were seeing the movie is that for the first time, I can see Tom Hanks, his age.
He's getting fucking old.
Is that he's getting older, and it could be maybe they aged him in makeup, or they dyed all of his hair gray or something. But I just remember sitting in the theater and being like, wow, Tom Hanks is getting up there. And it kind of like made me realize that there's going to be a time in our lifetime when like Tom Hanks
He's no longer
isn't here anymore. And it kind of is making me appreciate the stuff he's doing now a bit more, even if the movies he's doing aren't as like Oscar caliber.
As Philadelphia or as Forrest Gump or movies like that.
Even Captain Phillips, he was good in that.
He was Captain Phillips. I remember Tom Hanks. I'm showing my age now, all the way back to a TV show called Bosom Buddies. His very first movie was called Bachelor Party. That was in 1984. Reagan was the fucking president right there. So that did tell you just how long ago that was. Okay?
And if we're doing like throwback Tom Hanks movies that he's probably embarrassed that he starred in.
Oh, shit.
So if you have not seen a little gem called Turner and Hooch.
Yo, that movie was hot, man.
It is on Netflix, and I recommend you watch it. It's one of the few movies that stars an animal, particularly a mastiff.
It was a big fucking dog.
Yeah,
man.
a really big dog. It's so sweet, and it's really good. And I just recommend you watch it just to like turn your brain off for like an hour and 20 minutes. And laugh. I love it. It's like a guilty pleasure.
I thought you were gonna go with like Joe vs. the Volcano or something like that, man. I didn't know you were gonna go with Turner and Hooch, like, yeah, okay.
That's why it's a guilty pleasure movie. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen it, Turner and Hooch stars Tom Hanks and a dog. Tom Hanks is a cop who's trying to make detective, and somebody is murdered on like a shipping yard, and the only witness is the victim's dog. So like some political red tape where they can't put the dog in the kennel, so Tom Hanks has to take care of this dog, but Tom Hanks is very anal. Like everything has to be in a certain place, like very OC.
Oh, he's OCD.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's like the dog coming in and messing his life up and like getting everything dirty, and he learns to love the dog, and like they solve the case together. It sounds really stupid, but it's really sweet. I really recommend you watch it.
Didn't the dog get shot in the liver or some shit like that?
No, the dog died. He finds out who killed the guy, and Tom Hanks is about to get shot, and Hooch, the dog, sees, and he jumps in front of the bullet, and he dies. But the dog had like a one night stand with his girlfriend's dog, and like his girlfriend's dog had puppies. So it was like Hooch 2, Hooch 3, Hooch 4.
Hooch 5, Hooch 6, and shit like that.
So like that's how they were able to like put a little icing on it, even though the dog died, and like you loved him at the end.
That's so sad.
But please watch it. I want to say it's on Netflix, and if not, you should be able to find it on demand for free.
That's something I have to look up to, the good old guilty pleasures part, so.
And then I went rogue yesterday.
What'd you do?
Because I was bored, and I had a free pass to a movie, and I wasted my time and money seeing The Disappointments Room with Kate Beckinsale. She's
a shitty actress. I will tell you that.
I will speak more on that later. This movie, when I was driving back home and I was thinking about it, what I was going to say about it today, and there's really no redeeming value in this movie at all.
Not none?
Yeah, it kind of plagues on like the hysteria of women, like, oh, you're being crazy, just take your meds or take a nap or anything like that. And you know what? This movie is so terrible, I'm just going to spoil it for you just out the gate.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So the movie stars Kate Beckinsale, and she's a wife and a mother. Her son is 5 years old, and she's been married to her husband for quite some time. The backstory is they had an infant daughter who was like less than 6 months old, and the daughter died. And the mother had a nervous breakdown, and she went crazy. So the dad, her husband, had a great idea to move the entire family from the city, New York, to the country, like somewhere in like North Carolina or like Virginia or somewhere like that. In a sidebar, isn't that how like 80% of movies like this start. Either the family loses a child, somebody cheats, or maybe like a mixture of both, and they have to run away from the big city and like start over in a small town in this big ass, rickety ass, haunted ass house.
What did they find? Okay.
It's like certain things are paint by numbers in movies like this. So it was already on strike one, like when I was getting the background story.
Okay.
So they move in the house, and of course it's rickety as fuck, and they're acting surprised at everything that is going wrong with the house. So you didn't look at the house before you bought it. You didn't do a walkthrough.
You do an inspection.
Like, oh my God, everything's broken. Everything's leaking. Like, so you just went on Zillow or Trulia and just bought the first old ass house you saw.
First old ass house, boy.
But anyway, so they're getting everything moved in, and they come across this door to this room that is hidden behind this portrait. And of course, she can't find the key at first, but she finds it later. And she opens the door, and it's this very small room with a window that doesn't open and a door that only opens and locks from the outside.
So if you get stuck in a room, you're fucked.
Yeah. So, going on, she goes in the room and the door immediately closes and locks. And she's stuck in there for like hours, like half the day. And eventually the door opens and she's mad at her husband. Like, oh, I was calling you for hours. And you weren't there to help me come out this big ass room. But the room was in the attic and her husband was like on the main floor. So even if he was paying attention, he wouldn't have been able to hear her.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
Whatever. So she starts doing some investigation, because that's what people in these kind of movies do.
Mm-hmm.
And she's researching the blueprints of the house. But she was an architect, so her having the blueprints to the house, it wasn't like, okay, out of the ordinary. So find out the lady who worked at the courthouse was like, oh, you probably have a disappointments room. So in the trailer for this movie, it says based on a true story or inspired by true events.
Mm-hmm.
The only true part of the story, and I did research because I was fucking mad when I got out.
Damn. Okay.
A woman moved into this house in like Virginia or Kentucky, and she found a disappointments room in her house. So basically what a disappointments room is, and it's really fucked up, but it's true. From the 1800s to like the early 1900s, medicine was not really modern, so it was very common for children to be born with deformities or have like mental handicaps. So if a child was born to a wealthy family or a family that had status and they were deformed or like mentally disabled, they locked them in a room that had like no windows and you could only get out through one door, and they kept this child hidden from society until they died, because having a child like that was considered like shameful.
A disappointment.
Yeah, a shame. But luckily the children didn't live that long. Like they only lived till like 5 or 6. Damn. But still, it's fucked up. That's the only true part in this whole movie.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So basically the house was haunted by the family that had a child that was locked up in the disappointments room. And of course, she's the only one
that can see
the ghost. And since she's supposed to be on her antipsychotic and antidepressants, she stops taking her medication, obviously, of course, because that's what women do in these movies.
Okay.
And her husband is like, you're being crazy, you need to take your pills, XYZ. And then she's like, I want to move. And he's like, no, we don't have the money. First of all, if I move in a house and there's a fucking disappointments room or some medieval dungeon in that bitch or whatever, I'm moving.
I gotta go.
I don't care if I take a loss on it or what. Or I would convert it into like one of those homes you can do tours through, like they did on Downton Abbey. I'm not living in that shit. I'm sorry. I'll be living in a Motel 6 I'll be sleeping on dirt.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Family, tragedy, moved to raggedy house, pills. Only person that can see the ghost is the crazy ass wife.
So they think she's hallucinating.
So I think she's hallucinating. So I'm pretty sure that at the end of the movie, everybody lived happily ever after. They tried to escape. The ghost wouldn't let them. They ended up getting out.
What? Okay. what happened is, like, I'm trying to remember because this movie was so forgettable. So
Jeez.
it comes up on the anniversary of their daughter's birth because the daughter didn't live to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, the husband is scared for his wife's sanity, so he invites some of their friends down.
Okay.
And they have a dinner, and she goes out, gets drunk, and comes back and throws an epic scene. It's like so fucked up. So basically, the daughter, the ghost daughter, is like, oh, he doesn't want you here. He wants you to leave. Okay. If a ghost tells me, we don't want you here, get the fuck out. Okay.
I'm getting the fuck out.
I'm getting the fuck out. With nothing but the clothes on my back, I'm leaving. Because for all I know, that ghost could attach to a pair of my shoes or some shit like that. I'm leaving fucking everything in that house.
So you might go leave butt naked, just walk out?
If I'm taking a shower and I'm in nothing but a robe and the ghost is like, bitch, get out. I'm like, okay.
You know, time to go.
I'm not even taking my shoes. It's me in this robe in the elements when I get out this fucking house.
So
I'm leaving.
who was he? Who was the he part?
The he was the daddy.
Oh, okay.
So basically, why they haunt the house is because their disappointment child lived to be like 12 or 13, like older than normal, and the dad got tired of having to like deal with her to keep the secret, so he killed her. And then the mom found out and she hung herself. So that's why like the family haunts the house or whatever. So what happens is it's this big showdown between the mom and the ghost. And he was like, you're a failure as a mother. You lost your daughter, and now you're going to lose your son. And he acts like he's going to her son's room to smother him into sleep. And she takes like a sledgehammer or a lead pipe, and she starts beating the ghost dad's face in. But really, she's just beating on like her son's bed with her son still in it. So the dad comes in, he's like, you're going to kill him. You're gonna kill him. So she's at this point she believes that she's crazy, and the dad is like, I can't deal with this. We can't deal with this. Let's just move back home. So they just leave. And the son thought that his mom attacking him in the room was a bad dream. He doesn't know that. Oh, my mom tried to fucking kill me with a sledgehammer. He just think he had a nightmare.
Oh shit.
So they pack up their shit and they leave, and then you see the ghost looking all smug and shit when they leaving.
Wow. Okay.
So you really don't know if she was crazy or not. But still, fuck that movie. It's just so bad, guys. Don't see it.
Wow.
Don't see it
Wow.
for full price.
Wow.
Don't see it for matinee.
Wow.
Don't see it on demand. Don't buy it on bootleg. Don't see it on HBO or Stars.
Or Cinemax.
Wait 5 years down the line when it's edited for shit and it comes on like TNT or FX.
Really? Edited for content?
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Please don't see it.
Wow.
It pained me to have to summarize that for you, but I really don't want anybody else to waste their time or their money on this movie.
That's gonna be like a future episode coming up. That's gonna be like seeing another Madea movie, but that's a different story for a different day over there. Wow. That sounds horrible.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
just horrible.
horrible.
It's just really
That's an
bad.
hour and 30 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, I'm
And
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that sucked.
Yeah, and it's like the movies in general are just so bad, but TV has really been upping the ante. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm getting more excited about TV than I'm getting excited for movies. Like, for instance, Childish Gambino, or Donald Glover, as some people may know him, he debuted Atlanta this week. Oh my God, like, it is so amazing, and you've been raving about it for days, so I'll let you take the lead on that.
Well, okay, first of all, I should have did my homework and gave you the main character's names. I don't know the main character's name, but first of all, I am speechless because, as I said earlier, I am an AT alien and am not knocking any reality shows, what the fuck they want to do, but most time when people see Atlanta,
It's the glamorous
it's
part.
the glamorous part of Atlanta. You're going to see the Buckheads, you're going to see
The Inman parts.
the Inman parks, you're going to see the mansions and stuff like that. I grew up knowing about Decatur, the SWATs, Calvin Road, Riverdale. I mean, we talking about the hood spots, you know.
Before the Olympics came and
Before the
gentrified.
Olympics came in, yes. I remember the spots when, Ben Hill, Ben Trail, Old National. And so this show is actually showing spots that I used to hang around with, go over with, cut school and go to girls' cribs when their parents were, okay, that's another story, different day. But the point being, this TV show is showing Atlanta. So
the good parts and the bad parts.
The good parts and the bad parts. So to summarize, you have 3 different players in this TV show. You got of course you got the stoner, you got the rapper, and you got, I call him the corny dude, the ne'er-do-well. The dude that no matter what the fuck he do,
it don't work out.
It does not work out. So the ne'er-do-well, his cousin is a rapper named Paperboy.
B-O-I.
Boy,
right.
Yeah, B-O-I, not boy, like Paperboy. And Paperboy has a friend who's a stoner. And so what I love about this movie is the ne'er-do-well. He said a line that was so poignant to me. He was like, is it just meant for some people to lose? And I thought about that, and I was like, to those of you that listen to this podcast, we all know that one person that no matter what they do, they just lose. And they're not bad people for the most part. They just can't get.
Some people have bad luck.
They just got bad luck, and they can't get
Turn
that shit.
around.
Yeah, and he's trying his best to make it happen. One scene he had where he is with his baby mother, and she says, "I'm gonna be home late." And he's like, "Well, what's going on? Oh, I have a date."
And they kind of were trying to make it seem like he was still in love with her,
mm-hmm.
and he was trying to nest. And by nest, it's something that both men and women do, like when they either want to move in with their boyfriend or girlfriend or need a place to stay. It's kind of like first leave a pair of shoes, then leave a toothbrush,
pair of
drawers, some jeans. Next thing you know, they got a drawer, and then the next thing, they get mail delivered there. Like, he was trying to pull one of them moves, and she was like, "Nigga, I need rent.
Yeah,
you're a roommate."
Yeah, she said, "Nigga, you gonna be staying. I need rent." And his parents they don't treat him like shit. But his dad was like, "Nah, nigga,
you can't get in the house.
You ain't coming in the house
because you're gonna stay here."
So I gotta go into a little detail, right? So the Paperboy, they're all hanging out one night, and this dude fucking fucks Paperboy car up. And in the words of a Boondocks, now a nigga moment is getting ready to happen. So you don't know who gets shot, but next thing you know, someone gets locked up. And so the very next day, these kids are playing shoot 'em up, cops and robbers. So Paperboy is fucked up. He's like, "Oh my God,
they pretending to be me.
They pretending to be me." So he goes over to the kid and he said, "Ma'am, I really appreciate what you're doing. I understand what you're doing." She's like, "Nigga, like, who you? Like, who?
Tell me how to do with my kids.
Raise my kid." He said, "I'm Paperboy." She's like, "Who? Paperboy,
the rapper."
I got that Paperboy. And her whole
swag
just changed. She was like, "Oh shit, let me put my shit on your chest, boy. Let me take a little picture."
She went from pissed off mama bear to thought in half a second.
2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
And he's looking like, what the fuck? What's going on? You can tell Paperboy is the guy that's trying to do right. He's using the music. Don't want the music to use him. And so I'm rooting for him. I'm loving this TV show, y'all. I mean, I can't say no. I probably talk about it every week.
And another thing I like about Atlanta on another level is that it talks about issues in the black community without being preachy and hitting you over the head with it. It talks about police brutality. It talks about criminalizing people when they really have mental health issues. Mm-hmm. It talks about whenever somebody in the family gets big, it's always that one person in the family that tries to ride their coattails. Mm-hmm. And to some degree, that's the main character because it's Paperboy hadn't heard from him in years, and then next thing you know, he got a hit record out, and now he wants to be his manager, and to the point where Paperboy was like, "Nigga, I haven't seen you since my mom's funeral, and now you want to be on my nuts."
He said, "Walk,
clock
nigga."
out. He's like, "Walk, nigga."
Walk, nigga.
So it kind of took him not snitching about the whole shooting thing to get him to kind of come over to his side and like be open to him being his manager. And aside from all of that social commentary, like about like how black people treat gay, lesbians, and transgenders, my favorite part of the whole TV series, and it kind of goes to like an issue that black people have, because it's very subjective. Some people are okay with it and some people aren't. White people using the N-word.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's like, when is it okay? Is it ever okay? And it was like this running joke throughout the entire show, is that he had a white friend who would always say it.
What's up, my nigga?
Yeah, he would always say it when he was around Donald Glover's character. And I guess because he felt that Donald Glover's character was a non-threatening black person,
Very non-threatening.
and like he wouldn't do anything. So Paperboy's song comes out like officially, and it's a hit. And he runs into his white friend later. And he's with like the true Atlanta boys, like grills, dreads, like not with your bullshit at all. He's like, hey dude, tell him that lowrider story that you told me earlier in the week. And just how that dude's whole demeanor and face like changed, because he knew, I can't say the N-word for these people because I might get my ass beat.
Like these are, as a matter of fact, when they filmed that scene, they filmed it off of what's over by the West End. It's the little diner the little spot he was at was over by the West End. It's been there for years.
And they showed that in ATL too. Like whenever there's a movie in Atlanta that shows like the non-glamorous part, they always show that diner.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They show that one diner. So they
it has like the really bright halogen lights.
Yeah, they show that one diner, and so I mean, this show is oh my god, man. I mean, it's
so amazing.
Hopefully, the writers keep doing what they're doing,
and also all black writers, and it shows. Well, I want to say it's majority black writers or all black writers. And this was created by Donald Glover. And it shows because sometimes when someone who is not a person of color writes for someone who is a person of color, the dialogue is almost too black. Like almost a caricature.
It's forced.
It feels forced. So I can just imagine like being in a writer's room and people just sharing stories about like inside jokes and things that make them think and things that make them mad, and just like brainstorming ideas for scenes in this movie. Like the whole thing about wet lemon pepper wings, like those are impossible to get. Those are
unless you're from Atlanta.
Yeah, those are like an urban myth of wet lemon pepper wings.
He said, you got the wet lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, so it's like only somebody from the city would get that joke, and they had it light up like the briefcase from Pulp Fiction.
My nigga was like But the thing is though, y'all, if you're watching this show, whether you listen to us in Cali or New York or Baltimore, wherever you're at, the spots they're filming at are actual spots. We talking about J.R. Crickets. We talking about, like downtown Atlanta. We talking about, over on the east side, over on the west side. We talking about cats riding the MARTA bus with his daughter at 10:30 at night. You know what I'm saying?
Something you see whenever you ride. And I'm just freaking waiting for them to have something at the Varsity, because they have to do it.
Gotta do something at the Varsity, man. We gotta show our
maybe Atlantic Station.
You know what though? What I'm scared of, and I'm gonna say this, and we can move on. I'm scared that Atlanta is getting too much publicity now, and to the fact of the city is gonna lose its identity. If that makes sense.
It does, and it's something. I guess I can, give a little bit of information about myself. And the one thing that a lot of people, particularly people of color, love about Atlanta is that at its core, Atlanta is a chocolate city.
It's a black city.
It's a black city, and I feel like that's why you have, your T.I.s and your Outcasts that come from here and can speak to different, groups of people and different experiences. And that's why it's just such not gonna say eclectic, but so many different types of black people
in Atlanta.
live in Atlanta. And that's why you can have a protest of police brutality and nobody gets shot or arrested. Because, like, at the end of the day, Atlanta knows it's a black city. And I see that changing. And I'm not going to say it bothers me, but it's something that I noticed, particularly gentrification. Like, I live on Edgewood, right? And anybody who has lived in the metro Atlanta area,
Woo,
5 to 10 years ago,
Shit.
Edgewood is not a place where, like, you particularly wanted to live. Like, it was known for, like, crime and drugs and prostitution. But then, 5 years ago, somebody made up in their mind that they wanted Edgewood to be nice. And they started buying up all these shops and putting in bars and stuff. And now it's one of the more up-and-coming neighborhoods. Definitely in the state, but maybe even the country. And to the point where, like, it's $1,300 to rent, like, a 2-bedroom. And for people who live, like, in the north or in California, that might seem like nothing.
But here in Atlanta?
For the south, that is, like, pretty steep.
That's a house.
So, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, who knows what the demographic in Atlanta is going to be.
And unfortunately, and I know it seems like matter of fact, we're not even going on a tangent. Fuck that. We're basically...
It's still related.
Yeah, we're basically saying that this show is showing the old and new Atlanta. If that makes sense.
That does make sense.
It's showing old and new Atlanta. It's showing like his dad got a house off of Campbellton Road. That's the old Atlanta. But then you seeing the new Atlanta, what they have to deal with, where you got to go to a fucking rap station, but the DJ is white. You see what I'm saying? Like, how crazy is that? And how crazy the DJ feels so comfortable with saying N-word around this dude. You know, and those are the things that are changing. You know, like right now, I'm at Chrissy's spot right now on Edgewood. When I was a kid, fuck no, I wasn't coming out here to Edgewood.
You just drove through.
You just drove, and you drove through with your windows rolled up and your car locked. So it's like I'm seeing my city change.
Some for the better and some for the worse. They're cleaning up crime. Like, even when I moved down here, I moved into my condo 3 years ago, and it would be like, how can I explain it? You would see like an upper middle class mother jogging with a baby stroller, and then 2 minutes later you would see a crackhead begging for money on the street. Like, it was still transitioning. But now, like, I want to say once or twice a month, you see nothing but police cars going up and down the streets, and they're busting all of the trap houses and the drug houses, and then they're being bought by, like, flippers. Because even across the street from me, somebody's flipping, like, 2 or 3 houses. And those houses across the street from Ebenezer, the old Ebenezer, where Dr. King used to preach, they're renovating all of those. And they're gonna be able to sell them for like $250,000 or $300,000. And they're pretty. I'm not gonna say they were worthless, but they're gonna be able to sell those houses for like 3 or 4 times what they bought them for.
So basically, the neighborhoods that that we lived in, we won't be living in anymore.
Pretty much in the next like 5 to 10 years.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's messed up, but yeah, we really love the show, and that's because like we are Atlanta, and it's places we are familiar with, but. You know, in terms of, like, other shows with, like, black casts and black writers, we have to talk about Queen Sugar.
Well, that's on you. I have not seen the show yet. That was my homework assignment.
And you didn't do it.
Fuck it. The dog ate my homework, okay? You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Queen Sugar, I love this new show. It's on the OWN network. Ava DuVernay, who is known for her work in Selma, who did that movie.
Okay.
She actually directed this movie. I said movie because it actually felt like one when I was watching it. So that goes to show like how well it was shot. And just to like give you a straight summary without giving too much away, it's about a family, 2 girls, 1 boy. They're kind of going through different walks of life. Like, you have the one daughter who was into like very earthy, very boho kind of lifestyle. And then a regular guy who's trying to do right but sometimes does dirt. Mm-hmm. And then you have the other daughter who made it out of the sticks, and she married a baller.
Okay.
So she's somewhere living the high life, and then their father gets sick and he passes away, and their family owned a sugarcane field in Louisiana. and basically they have to come together and save
the sugar plantation.
Yeah, the sugar plantation. And basically how they're setting it up is that it's this huge developer or company that wants to come in and buy their land, and their father was in so much debt they're having to figure out like ways to save it and all that stuff. So it's like the whole aspect of, okay, preserving our family legacy, and then watching the other siblings interact with each other because there's resentment because one of the daughters left and she hadn't been back in a long time, and she came back all sedity, and then the other son is in love with his ex-girlfriend or fiance, but she's a recovering drug addict, so he's trying to deal with that, like his feelings for her. And then the other daughter is having an affair with a married man, and people kind of look down on her because she's very earthy and likes to do like home remedies and stuff, and people are like, go to the hospital.
Okay.
Type deal. So, I just saw the premiere, but I wanted to give it a few more episodes. It didn't blow me away like I thought it would, simply because I was thinking, oh, Oprah and Ava DuVernay. But if I had to rate it 1 out of 10, I would give it like a 7.5 or an 8. I would definitely say
that's not bad. That's up and up. That's something in the high percentile,
Yeah, so I'll definitely say give it a shot. Watch it, and I'm gonna give it another 2 or 3 episodes before I decide if I'm gonna jump ship or not. And the one thing I like about Queen Sugar and Atlanta is that it's not race specific. It deals with issues in the black family, but I feel like if a person of another race sat down and watched Queen Sugar or watched Atlanta, they wouldn't feel like, oh, I can't relate.
I can identify.
Yeah, so that's something I think is important with black TV in general. It's for us. You like to see yourself in the TV shows that you watch, but sometimes it's nice for other races to be able to watch and like still understand and come to know your struggles and still be able to see themselves and the characters and yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I'm gonna check it out. I mean, sorry my dog ate my homework.
It's fine.
I'm gonna try to get back on it. Get back on it.
I haven't seen The Wire.
Nigga.
I know. Get your pitchforks.
Shit.
Because you told me to watch The Wire like a month ago and I haven't done it, so I can't get mad.
You know what we're gonna do, y'all? This is podcast number 4. Okay. You hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, all our social media outlets. Someone please remind Chrissy Loves Movies to watch The fucking Wire. If you have never seen Omar Little or Marlo Stansfield or anything of that, that's probably one of the top 5 greatest TV shows ever. And the simple fact is that you've never seen this TV show, I'm starting to doubt your validity in your TV-ism and your movie-ism. That is like...
It's not like I've never seen an episode of it. I've never seen like an entire season.
Wow.
I know. I'm horrible.
You suck. You suck so bad right now.
I do.
Well, speaking of seasons,
Empire.
Fucking Empire. Oh, you know what?
And the thing is, I didn't even think about Empire until I realized how good Atlanta was, and the whole thing about like the music industry. And it's like, do you think people are getting tired of Empire? Do you think, like, to be honest, I think it might have one more season left. If it doesn't get out of its rut in season 3, it's gonna get canceled. That's just my opinion.
Empire. Okay. Empire broke grounds on... Well, they didn't really break any ground. They just revised an old TV show called Dynasty.
Pretty much, it's the same plot line.
If you don't...
I've seen Dynasty.
If you don't never seen Dynasty, I'm showing my age again, just Google it. So if you watch the first episode of Dynasty, that was the first season of Empire.
So, summary, the first episode of Dynasty, it is about a wealthy family and they own oil, or they're investment bankers or something like that.
Yeah,
they're really, really rich, and the dad's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lucius.
Who's Lucius? And he divorced his first wife,
Cookie,
and she was never seen or heard from for a long time.
17 years.
And he was getting married. He was getting ready to marry his new girlfriend, who was younger.
That's it.
And out of nowhere, his ex-wife, his first wife, comes back,
Cookie,
and starts raising hell, and she wants to have a part in the business.
Cookie.
And then you had the son that was gay and was trying to hide it,
Jamal.
And then you had the younger son who was feeling himself too hard. You couldn't tell him nothing. Who's Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the other son who was the oldest, who married a girl who they thought wasn't good enough for him or the family name. And that's Andre.
Fuck yeah.
It's the same plot line about them fighting for power. And even down to the name, Dynasty, Empire, it's the same thing.
Even Lion, like they basically, like, as good as Lee Daniels is a writer, Lee, I'm telling you right now, brother, I support you. You're a wonderful writer. But did you not think that some
They didn't care.
Did you not think that some 40-year-old fucker like me will see Empire and say, well, ain't this some shit? You know
It's
what I'm
a
saying?
bad version of Dynasty.
Yeah. So, you know, even down, I'm gonna tell you how they ripped off Dynasty. The ex-wife and the wife that he married would every year get into a fist fight.
Yep, every year.
Every get to a fucking fist fight. That was like the high of the season. So
Really?
the high of the season. So
Alexis and somebody
Alexis, and I can't remember the fucking wife's name.
His
right
first
now.
wife's name was Alexis.
Crystal. It was Alexis and Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so when you saw Cookie and Old Girl fight,
on a pool table,
were you shocked? Were you surprised?
Even if you hadn't seen Dynasty, that was building up all season. You knew they were going to throw hands.
So, you know, it's Empire. I saw the trailer. It comes out 3 weeks from now, I want to say. So we're definitely gonna probably either live
keep
Periscope
our eye on it.
Yeah, we want to see what I gotta say about it, but we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do about it. I'm got mixed feelings to Empire right now.
The one thing I cannot contain my excitement. American Horror Story. What the fuck is going on? I don't know what the theme is yet. It premieres next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. I'm obsessing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be live
We
periscoping.
haven't even seen character pictures.
Well, if you notice, they've given us
About 20 teasers so far.
It's 6 recurring different teasers.
Okay.
You got the one about the aliens. You got the one about the family.
Then
you got the one about the bugs, with the eyelids.
the mist one, the one the lady is drowning when the alligator.
You got the one in the mist. So Chrissy is thinking that it's gonna be a movie set, which would be fucking perfect for American Horror Story.
Because they could do several different genres and say, like, maybe somebody died shooting a movie of a creature flick of the week in the 50s, and somebody died doing a possession movie in the 70s, and somebody died, and everybody haunts the set.
Why? But you know what really fun about American Horror Story is now we've had 5 seasons.
I miss Jessica Lange.
If they were to just say, fuck it, let's do the movie set, every season could be a movie set. Murder House, Asylum, Coven, Carnival,
How meta
Hotel.
would that be?
Every season could be basically, they could be saying, okay, it was they could basically combine all 5 to this one season right here. Think about it for a second.
And they could wrap the entire series in a little bow.
In one little bow tie.
Do you know what would be really good? And this is just us theorizing. Technically, the season that would make the best movie would be Murder House. And if they were making a horror movie about the murder house, and people were dying on the set.
Oh.
And that way you could interweave all of the other seasons because they all link back to Murder House in some way.
All the way to the Murder House.
And had that just be the last season. 6 seasons, 4 good, 1 okay, 1 fucking terrible.
And one just and you're
fucking circus, man. That was a shit stain on that whole show.
Well,
I can't get over how bad it was.
I
kept waiting for it to be good and it just wasn't.
So American Horror Story is one of them TV shows. Either season's gonna be either good or bad.
No in between.
There really is no in between in there. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a realistic show, and people fucking like, okay, we'll see how it's gonna come out. We will definitely be sitting there. You will see us live as we're sitting there watching it, periscoping it. So I want y'all. We'll make sure we put that out there before you see it.
Links and stuff.
With the fucking writers, though, man. I mean, they're gonna really step, because Hotel was okay.
I feel like Hotel relied too much on shock value. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen season 5, so If you haven't seen it, earmuffs for the next 20 seconds. One of the first scenes in the first episode of season 5 is this man getting anally raped by like this demon monster, and he had a dildo on, right?
It was like a drill.
But the dildo looked like a drill bit. It looked like if a dumpling took the shape of a person, like a life-size person.
Yeah, it was all fucked up.
It was terrible, and they never fully explained
what the
that
fuck
creature's
that was.
existence, and it made me mad because you don't traumatize me like that and then not bring it back. And they tried to explain it like one episode before the finale, and I was unpleased. Is that a word, unpleased?
Nah, I think you were not pleased. Unpleased.
Not pleased.
Not pleased.
Yeah, it's a word now. Unpleased.
But we're looking forward to American Horror Story, y'all. I mean, I seen seasons 1, 3, and 5. I skipped 2 and I seen 1, 3, and 5, 2 and 4. So I mean, I'm saying I'm a fan, but I can't tolerate bad television. So
if you have to skip seasons, I would say skip 2 and 4, because Asylum was a good season, but it had about too many plot lines.
Too many plots.
They could have cut like 2 or 3 of them out, because really the most interesting plot line in Asylum was about a nun that got possessed by a demon, and that could have been an entire plot for a season itself, because that was just interesting.
You have aliens. You have fucking
experimentation, government experimentation. It was just serial killers. It was a lot.
So look forward to American Horror Story. Hope you're looking forward to it like us. So going forward, I think did one of your favorite shows? You like Tyrant? I'd never seen it.
I loved Tyrant the first season and a half, but it's fallen off as of late, so I'm not really surprised that it got canceled.
They got fucking canceled off of FX.
Because FX keeps shit forever. Like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is going on its 11th season, and Tyrant gets canceled after like 2.5 or 3. The ratings must have been really terrible to get canceled off of FX.
The rating was like Thought's credit score like a 524 or some shit like that, man. That's just bad business. So we're not gonna dwell too much into that. It's like if you get canceled on FX, man, god damn, you just all sorts of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So in breaking news today, any True Blood fans out there? Because if you are,
you're in luck.
You are in luck because now the new Batman movie coming up. What the fuck is
Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello is going to play Deathstroke.
Yes. I'm excited, but I'm also scared.
Why?
Because Deadpool, the Marvel character, was created as like a spoof of the Deathstroke character. So considering that Deadpool is so popular for being so funny, I wonder how they're gonna like address that. But I think in terms of appearance, I think Joe Manganiello looks the part of Deathstroke without his mask on. But I'm just worried about whether or not the DC Batman Batfleck or whatever is going to be good, because DC's track record, they're kind of batting 500 in my opinion.
Why you like what is your thing with DC? You give DC absolutely no fucking credit, man. I don't get that.
I completely disagree with that statement. I loved Man of Steel. You're the one that hates that movie, for one. Everyone can agree that Batman versus Superman was terrible. That they could have went back to the drawing board with that one. And then Suicide Squad was okay. I don't think I'm hard on DC at all. And I don't think I'm too easy on Marvel either. I think a lot of Marvel movies are overhyped. I think the only truly outstanding Marvel movie was Winter Soldier, and all the other ones were basic. But that's another argument for another podcast. That might be some. Let's write that down.
Yeah, I think, you know what?
For a topic we can argue about.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Marvel versus DC. Cause I'm really curious about it, because she gives them shit. Like,
I don't give them shit. I'm honest. I've never been like, oh, I hate everything DC does. Man of Steel was really good. I think like maybe 10, 15 years down the road, when people like understand, I really do think Man of Steel was really, really good. Like, the whole thing that kind of bothered me about it was I think they rushed the Clark Kent and Lois Lane relationship. And I don't think he should have had to fight that tentacle monster at the end. That kind of wasn't necessary. Batman versus Superman was just bad. The only good thing about it was Wonder Woman. So I'm excited about her movie.
Okay, so are you talking about it's because the feminist aspect, you know what I'm saying? A chick with a lasso, nice size
fight
dudes.
scene was really good.
It took 3 of them to beat fucking one dude, you know what I'm saying? So what the fuck, you know?
And then Suicide Squad was okay. So I don't think I'm being hard on them. If I were being hard on them, I'd be like, everything they do sucks. I feel like I can back up my argument with like
factual facts.
Yeah, reality and facts. That might be something. Yeah, we definitely need to have like an entire podcast where we kind of just debate on what movies in the Marvel and DC universe that we think are actually good.
Hey guys, it's coming soon, Marvel's DC. So please hit us up. Let us know what you think about that. You know. So, oh shit, hold on.
I don't want us to go off on like a tangent because we could talk about that for hours.
We be here all day. Hold on, matter of fact, pass me your phone real quick. I need to look at your phone. See, right now I'm holding Chrissy's Apple iPhone piece of shit 6 or whatever the fuck it is.
You know what?
Now.
Ever since I
thank you, Foot God.
restarted my phone, I had to delete off all my apps and kind of do it from scratch. Basically, that trick where you pretend like you're going to download War and Peace to give you more space, don't do it. Because sooner or later your phone will remember that you don't have any fucking space and it will freak the fuck out. And you will only be able to take phone calls. You won't be able to do anything else.
Yeah, iPhones are a piece of shit.
Don't be like me. I'm trying to save people.
And see, now these motherfuckers are making it now. They got the Apple iPhone 7 should be coming out soon. And see, now everything's going wireless. But see, the question me and Chrissy had was, will they make your headphones only able to for your iPhone? So, let's say you got wireless headphones, you want to listen like your, whatever the other, like something your TV or something like that. You can't do that anymore, you know. So they're trying to just totally just plug you into their system right there. And question: why the fuck are y'all keep buying iPhones anyway?
Don't play iPhone because Samsung's doing it too.
You know what? I do have my Samsung here. I got the Galaxy Note 4.
Like, yeah, you gonna be somewhere with wireless headphones in the next 2 years too, because you love getting the new phone.
But you know what?
He's smiling right now because he knows it's true.
Yo, you know, I'm probably rock that Note 7 for my birthday, y'all. But the thing is, like, I mean, I'm feeling some kind of way about basically my consumer choice is gonna be fucking
limited.
It's like either you're gonna be either Apple or fucking Android. So it's like what the hell do you do going forward? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Phone, throw it away.
I resent the fact that they're forcing me to buy cordless headphones because I lose things very easily.
Me too.
I would lose those within like an hour or maybe a day max. Because what if it slips out your ear and you don't realize it? And they say it costs like $100 and some change, at $150 maybe to get a replacement set. And you know, excuse me, if Apple is smart, they're gonna rig it to where only the earphones made by Apple can sync to your phone. You're gonna be forced to buy those after every pair you lose. So unless there's an app where you are able to track your headphones if you lose them, like Find My iPhone, then what the fuck? I would just upgrade to a 6S Plus. I'm not doing the 7.
You're gonna do it because the peer pressure gonna be enough for you.
No, I'm above peer pressure. The only reason why I got a 6S is because the screen on my 5S broke.
You dropped it?
Yeah.
So much fucking Gorilla Glass, right? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't have Gorilla Glass.
No Gorilla Glass?
Yeah. I was just playing with Fate for like 3 years and just, yeah.
One fucking day it happened.
Well, it hit it at the wrong angle.
Well, playing with Fate, poor Bobby Shmurda. There's not too much hot shit going on with Bobby right now.
He pled guilty.
Conspiracy to murder charge. He got 7 years. Be out 3.5 with a good time. You know what I'm saying? The look on his face when he got the time was priceless. Oh yeah, I felt bad for Bobby, man, because like you a young nigga, man. Shit happens.
He made it. He was hanging out with the wrong people, I think.
But you can't be a hardcore rapper and expect people ain't gonna try you.
Yeah, that is true.
You can't say I'm gonna kill 30 people and expect somebody to say really. Okay, let's see how.
Let's pull that card, play.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that fucking punk card real quick. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Atlanta. That's why they got in trouble in the first place. Cause dude was trying to punk Paperboy, and he was like, "Oh, for real?
Yeah, and pow, you know, Paperboy capped him. So, well, he didn't kill him. You know, he shot him, but
shot him in the leg or something.
Yeah, some bullshit, that little flesh wound or some shit like that. So, Bobby Shmurda and your homeboy Designer.
He locked up. Designer. I want to say it was drugs and having an illegal weapon. I think.
How much time he get?
I don't think he's been arraigned or anything. He got arrested like Friday. And it's like people was giving Designer accolades because you know pandas got rescued off the endangered list. They're just on the watch list. Mm-hmm. Designer did that with Panda.
Damn. So he
didn't really do it.
He saved the species.
Yeah, it's like take a nigga off the endangered list and see how they do you. They don't need him no more. Now he just disposable.
Nah, goddamn Designer. I bet you gonna learn. I mean, you learn by having them drugs and shit like that, man. Like, damn, what the fuck is really going on?
But they like, we're losing such a. Oh my God, Designer's going to jail. Like, okay, it'll be another one.
It'll be another nigga out there. You know what I'm saying? It'll be new flavor of the month.
And the thing is, he's probably only gonna get probation. Now, I hope that he saved that Panda money. So he get a good lawyer.
Well, he saving that Kung Fu Panda money, boy.
Yeah, he probably gonna get one of those rich lawyers, use up all his money, so he only get like probation or something, and then he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to jail. At the end of the day, it's not that bad. It's people
bad.
Have done worse.
I mean, niggas get off on murder and still be good to go. You know what I'm saying? So, right now, y'all, this is our shut the fuck up moment. I'm going to let Chrissy take this one because...
Allen Iverson. We got to talk about,
yeah.
He was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame on his first ballot. And let's give him a hand clap for that. And the reason why I'm laughing is that when it came out that he was on the ballot to get put in the NBA Hall of Fame, people were trying to... like increase speculation that he might not get it. And I'm like, dude, what world do you live in where you think it's a possibility Allen Iverson doesn't get it on his first ballot?
Pound for pound, if you know Allen Iverson,
in his prime, he was breaking niggas' ankles.
Yo,
like,
he
embarrassing you.
I tell you what, you young people, Google YouTube, Allen Iverson crossed over Michael Jordan. He crossed Michael Jordan the fuck up. So AI wasn't his nickname. AI. He was nothing but 6 feet. He only weighed 165 pounds. I weigh more than Allen Iverson, but he was that. But pound for pound, no one had more heart than Allen Iverson.
And I think he got a bad rap during his career because of how he dressed, and sometimes he wouldn't show up for practice. Because when Allen Iverson was playing, that whole like. White tee, cornrows, baggy jeans, Jordans, Timberlands, gold jewelry. That was in, and that was kind of like his look. And people were saying about how like unprofessional he looked and stuff. And it's like, and nowadays NBA players wear 3-piece suits and stuff like that to games. And I think to a certain degree, they wouldn't do that if it weren't for Allen Iverson. Because they jumped down his throat so badly about everything he wore. So now it's like, well, they can't say nothing if I wear a 3-piece suit to the game.
Well, Allen Iverson can say, really, he helped institute the dress code for NBA.
Being haters, let him do him do his job. He wasn't doing nothing obscene.
At the end of the day, the NBA, the National Basketball, is a fucking business. At the end of the day, who's buying the courtside seats? Who's buying the luxury boxes? Not us. Let me tell you that right now. You got some middle-aged white guy that would love to be able to fucking have a hook shot or a jump shot. Couldn't do it.
Or like corporate
America, corporate business. So, what do you want to show? You want to show that your product is looking its best. So, is that like we're parading these young men out here, man, for fucking auction? Saying, okay, this is, what I'm saying, we're out here in their suits and ties. Let me tell you something. As much as y'all motherfuckers want to say that LeBron James is rich, no, he's not rich. The motherfucker that's cutting his check.
Thank you.
That's rich. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron James is rich. It's a difference between rich people and wealthy people. Do you want to know the difference?
LeBron James is rich.
Wealthy people sign rich people's paychecks.
Yes. So LeBron James say, I got all this power and everything else, but the nigga that's sitting there writing his check, nah, nigga, I got the power. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm paying for your family to eat. But big ups to AI, man. And it's showing my age again because I remember when he got drafted. He got drafted in the 1996 draft out of Georgetown. Shit.
And I'm not sure if it's still available to watch, but it's a really cool documentary about his career. And it is just like amazing how far he's come and everything that his mother did for him to ensure that he would succeed. Like when he did his Hall of Fame speech, he was crying, thanking his mom and his coach for saving his life. Like, background story for you, those of you who don't know, Allen Iverson was supposed to play football in college, but he got arrested in a fight at a bowling alley and lost his scholarship. And his mom begged the head coach at Georgetown just to let him not audition, but try out. And he made the team. She
also fought to the governor of Virginia to have his sentence commuted. Because he would have did like, if he would have got convicted, it would have been like 10 years.
And just for and they have like video of that fight. Everybody in the bowling alley was fighting. So I don't know why they thought it would have been acceptable to give a kid, he was like, what, 17 at the time?
Yeah,
16,
17 years old, yeah.
Yeah, to give him 10 years because he got in a fight. That's ridiculous.
But you also got to recognize the city, Virginia, the state. I mean,
somebody got to pay.
He was very lucky that his life turned out
the way it did.
It could have went
one wrong
move, man. That could have been it. So big ups to AI. Amen. The answer, shit, man. I'm getting old with you, bro.
I remember when Allen Iverson used to come out with like a new pair of shoes every year, and everybody wanted the Iversons, and people were talking about, oh, it's gonna rival Jordans now. Like, no, it's not.
No.
But they were cool while it lasted.
AI had a good
4 or 5 years.
He had a good run where he was like that dude.
The man.
You know what I'm saying? He was like that dude. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he never won a championship. He has none to be ashamed of.
He's made it to like what, 2 or 3 finals?
Made the one.
Kobe, I remember that. Didn't he lose to Kobe?
Yeah, he lost to the Lakers in 2001.
But that was when it was still Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, fuck Kobe and Shaq, man.
That was hard to beat.
Hard to beat. I'm being a hater right now, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
It's that time again.
Oh.
We want to shut the fuck up.
Yes, it's that time again, y'all.
And this week, we have an actor who, was a promising child star. Then he transitioned pretty beautifully to grown-up movies. Mm-hmm. And he had a good run for about 3 years, and something happened. And he just lost his fucking mind.
The motherfucker went crazy.
And if you couldn't guess who we're talking about, we're just going to tell you, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
And the thing is, Shia LaBeouf has the uncanny ability to make everybody who ever rooted for him feel like a dumbass or an asshole. Because I was rooting for Shia LaBeouf so hard because I feel like I grew up with him. Like, he started out on a TV show on the Disney Channel back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was called Even Stevens. It was about a brother and a sister. The sister was really perfect. She was a class president, got good grades, good at everything. And Shia LaBeouf was Louis Stevens, her brother, that was a fuck up, that could never really seem to do anything right. And it was on for like maybe 3 or 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. It ended in like 2002, 2003. And then he transitioned doing movies like Disturbia, New York, I Love You, Transformers,
Eagle Eye,
all that stuff. And then he went on to do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And from that movie onward, I think that movie broke him for some reason. And he just has not been the same ever since. He's been very like, fuck Hollywood. Very, let me tell you something about the man. Like, Shia LaBeouf is the Kanye West of Hollywood.
Wow.
And Kanye West, if he was black, he would be that uncle at the cookout that's always telling you about conspiracies about the white man and stuff, that's Shia LaBeouf to me.
Okay.
The Kanye West of Hollywood. So let me tell you,
yes,
he
please.
recently did an interview with a publication earlier this week, and he was asked about his relationship with Steven Spielberg, and I have a few quotes from what he said. I grew up with this idea. If you got to Spielberg, that's where it is. I'm not talking about fame. I'm not talking about money. He goes on later to say, you get there and you realize you're not meeting the Spielberg you dream of. You're meeting a different Spielberg who was in a different stage of his career. He's less a director than he is a fucking company. And then he went on further, putting his foot in his mouth to say, I don't like the movies that I made with Spielberg. The only movie that I liked that we made was Transformers 1. So I'm pretty sure that I know what you're gonna say, but does Shia LaBeouf need to shut the fuck up? Why or why not? Let's discuss.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I would say no, only because I would say no. It's obviously he gives two fucks about
anything apparently.
But I would say, but no one has thought about this. Is this, or could it be, a publicity stunt? Keep yourself relevant. You know, no one has spoken about Steven Spielberg in years. So let's throw some little dirt on him real quick and see. Let's see what happens. Who wouldn't pay to see a Steven Spielberg and Shia LaBeouf movie come out?
That's not gonna happen.
You never know. I mean, money talks, bullshit on a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So I think Shia LaBeouf is basically like, fuck the industry. So hopefully his money is stacked good.
I hope he stacked that Transformers money, that Eagle Eye money, that Even Stevens money, that Disturbia money, because I don't think that he's going to work. At least not. I could see him doing a lot of indie movies, like making his money that way. Mm-hmm. But as far as like the big budget Hollywood stuff, I honestly don't think that's where his heart is anymore. I don't see him doing that. And he was talking about how it hurt him that he felt, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not a lot of people liked it. It was panned universally by fans and critics alike, and a lot of people pinpointed Shia LaBeouf as the reason why it didn't work. And that's why I said before, I think that broke him, because that movie was bad from top to bottom. It wasn't just him. So I think being single-handedly blamed for the destruction of such a popular franchise, I think that could be what turned him off of Hollywood, because the script was messed up, the directing wasn't on point all the way there.
I mean, Harrison Ford too fucking on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Shia LaBeouf, me personally, keep what you're doing, Shia. Fuck everybody else in the system. Hope your money's stacked up, though, player, because it might be a couple years for you fucking work again.
Okay. Well.
You know what? We are not going to touch this one subject, y'all. She's looking at it. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Listen up very close. I'm going to go off script real quick. So here's what we're going to do, y'all. Listen very closely what I'm about to tell you right now. We had a conversation the other day. And so this is why I love Chrissy, because the majority of things that we discuss with you are just random conversations that we have, either going to the movies or just sitting there talking or getting something to eat, whatever the case may be. So the subject we're going to do this week, it might be a full podcast, and the subject is going to be the myth of the snapback. Is it real or false? And the myth is, do vaginas actually snap back? Now, what we can do, since you do fall...
We need some qualifiers.
We do need some qualifiers. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this week, we're going to do our homework, and we're going to have a lively debate. It may be 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but this is something we had an hour debate up on, a couple days ago.
2 or 3 days ago.
2 or 3 days ago. So we're going to sit and we're going to talk about it. And what we want to do, we want you to follow us. And so the day after the podcast, when Chrissy edits and we put it out for your listening pleasure, I want you to send us back some feedback. Send us your stories. Because this is for you. We do this for you. And so we want to hear what you have to say. Any crazy story. You know what? Any crazy story. What I would do right now, I will also, we just did our first giveaway for our $50 AMC card. Whatever the craziest story is, we will broadcast your story on our podcast, and we will give you another $50 AMC gift card for 2. It's on us. I want to hear what y'all have to say. Okay, that was the shot at the blue. That was a shot at the dark. But I think you're gonna enjoy our next podcast next week. It's gonna be something different.
Yeah, that's going to be our Sexless in the City podcast.
Oh
right?
yes, it's coming, y'all. Sex is in the City. So it's the myth of the snapback.
Getting laid versus getting love.
Oh, ooh, I like that. There you go, y'all. Podcast next week. Getting laid or getting love. Are y'all ready?
It's not mutually exclusive.
It's not mutually exclusive. So are you ready? So this should be, we can end it on that note right there. We've had fun. Oh my God, it's always fun every week. It's highlight of my week.
It really flew by. Like, you know, we love you and thanks for listening.
Yeah, we love you. Thanks for listening. So like I said.
And also, we're giving shit away and you guys aren't taking it. Like, we're giving away 4 additional $50 AMC extravaganza gift cards. All you have to do is subscribe to us on YouTube and leave a comment. It's free. It costs you nothing.
It costs you nothing. It can cost you everything.
That makes no sense.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is like that was a Seinfeld moment right there. You know what I'm saying? It made no sense. But we want you to listen. We want you to come in. But like I said, bring us your stories. Whatever crazy stories you have. Please, after you listen to the podcast, I want you to walk away thinking, fuck, that happened to me. Or, shit, I remember that. Or, hell, I'm fucking with this chicken dude right now going through that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So.
And if your story is too embarrassing or too freaky, just let us know and we won't put your name or information or anything out there. We just want your story. And if you are picked, we'll just be like, okay, you win. Where do we send your prize or whatever? So don't think we're gonna put your important information on blast because we don't have time to be getting sued.
So the rules are the podcast comes out Tuesday. So you'll have until Saturday. Yeah. Saturday to get it in. So that way we'll have enough time to go over the entries, and then we'll pick what 1 or 2.
We're really thinking of this giveaway on the fly, so bear with us. I think we should narrow it down to 2 or 3 and then let the listeners decide.
There we go. You know what? We will let the listeners decide. So we'll narrow it down to 3. We will tell you, we'll recite the stories, no personal information given. We'll recite the stories, and then you can let us know at the end of the week, by that next Saturday, the following Saturday, who do you think will win? And matter of fact, should we post that on Twitter so that way the people can
poll.
They can poll. So
we're gonna poll it.
We'll poll it on Twitter.
You'll have to listen to the stories. You can either say who you think you should win by commenting on the Instagram or the YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Or if you want to be lazy, we're gonna put a poll up too, and all you gotta do is click on who you think you should win. We're really trying to make it easy for you guys. Come on.
You know, hey, we can't do all the fucking work. We can't do all the fucking work over here, man. Help me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, please,
help me, please.
Oh, here you go. So you know what? So, fucking got her fucking started over here, and shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is what I deal with on a weekly basis and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Help me, please.
There's some crazy shit. So we are looking forward to it. I'm very excited for it. So we can keep this thing going on, y'all. I'm Antoine. I love y'all. I love y'all to death, man. So
all right. And this is Crystal. You can follow us at KVA_podcast on Instagram or on Twitter at We Love to Argue, because we do. We love to argue.
And P.S. I will be posting pictures of the One Love Music Fest that I went to, so you get a chance to see the crazy shit that I do. And for those of you that do follow us, you do know what we look like. So if you see us on the street, hey man, give us some dap, give us a hug, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. I'm Antoine.
I'm Crystal.
And we are
love you.
Love you, y'all.
Bye.
I like that girl.